Hi, my name's Ilma, and today I'd like to share Psalm 109, verses 8 to 13. May his days be few, may another take his office. May his children be fatherless and his wife a widow. May his children wander about and beg, and may they seek sustenance far from their ruined homes. May the creditor seize everything that he has, and may strangers plunder the product of his labor. May there be none to extend kindness to him, nor any to be gracious to his fatherless children. May his descendants be eliminated. May their name be wiped out in a following generation. Psalms 109, 8 to 13. Here's my devotional. David left vengeance to God. Enduring Word.com comments that this is a Psalm of David and is thought to be the strongest of what are known to be imprecatory psalms. They are psalms that call down curses upon their enemies. It is important to remember that these are prayers committing vengeance unto God. With the greater revelation of grace and truth that came by Jesus Christ, we understand that we are to pray for the good of our enemies, not for their ruin. Yet we remind ourselves that David refused to act upon these curses. He left vengeance up to God. This is especially relevant regarding David, who knew what it was to take life with a sword. When David withheld vengeance, it was because he chose to, not because he lacked opportunity, skill, or courage. This begins a long and intense set of curses that David pronounced against his enemy. There are some who think that verses 6 onwards describe the lying words that David's enemies spoke against him, and that the use of the singular in that section proves it, as well as later in verses. Morgan had this opinion. I entirely agree with those expositors who treat this passage as a singer's quotation of the language of his enemies against him. It is fair to note that the tone of these curses is generally in the form of prophecies rather than immediate curses. David predicted the righteous judgment to come rather than pronouncing it, though he certainly wished for this judgment. What is amazing with David is that even his vengeance, he lifts it up to God so that he won't do the wrong thing. He leaves everything in God's hands. He never operates on his own strength or understanding, something that is a novelty in our world today. Reflection. How can we develop the habit of dependence on God on everything? I think we are going to be able to develop a dependence on God if we change our view of God, because a lot of times we view God like giving him human elements, and he doesn't have that. So when God has called you to be his and has invited you to take that salvation gift that he has given you, it would be good if you are able to accept that invitation, because if you just follow your nature, you will not be able to accept that invitation, because the world shows us other things that we should accept, such as lies and systems of the world. In this psalm, we saw, it's so bizarre to think, how can King David word out curses? But from the commentary we heard today, it is not something that that comes from his heart. It's something that he voiced out, that the enemy was telling lies to him. So in other words, he mirrors back to them the lies that they give him. So I think it takes a lot of courage for us to be able to confront something that is a lie. And I think in this way, David confronted the lies of the enemy to him and brings it to God. So the act of bringing it to God is depending on God. So one way that we could remember to always have a dependable attitude to God is by remembering that He is our Father. So we usually run to our parents when we need something, especially when we were young. And we should always remember that we are like little children to God. So He loves us so much, He protects us so much. So it is important for us to have that stance of being like a child that cannot do anything unless they go to their parent who knows everything. So developing an intimacy with the Lord on a daily basis, on a regular basis, or if we give time for the Lord, He will show us who He is, and we will be able to start depending on Him, because then we will discover that every little thing that we have comes from Him. So when we are faced with bad things that comes at us, then it becomes automatic when we're intimate with the Lord to run to Him. Just like when you are with your, special someone and you love that person so much, you depend on them to protect you. You depend on them to guide you, to show you what to do. So I encourage you to have that habit of dependence on God, so that you will not be doing anything that is against Him. Thanks for watching. I hope you check my website at ilma'S.com for artworks and photographs, and I hope you subscribe to my channel on YouTube so I can make more videos for the Lord. Thanks for watching.